Happy Sunday, everyone. Today's guest, Mayor Randall Woodfin, my good friend, and the mayor of the city of Birmingham. What a pleasure.
Always good to see you, Tommy.
Yeah,
always great to be
It's
here.
probably a half a dozen shows.
Minimum, but
this time we're almost touching. The last time we were on COVID Zoom.
I remember. I tell you, anytime I have afforded the opportunity to speak to you, speak to your audience, I'm excited.
Well, I hope you feel that way when we're finished. So I think people want to hear about the state of the city. And I know you've just addressed the state of the city in an address you made. But I want to maybe tune into some more specifics. We can start, if you like, with probably everyone's primary concern is the continuing violence that we see in our amongst our youth primarily. And I know you posted something today on Instagram that I read about it's not just a law enforcement responsibility. It goes beyond that.
I think the first thing I want to do is, again, thanks for being here. And you're right. The state of the city has been a talk, not just to one audience, but several. I'm happy to have it here with this audience. I will tell you what I've told every audience, though. In the month of January of 2023, crime is not only homicides. Crime is also rape, robbery, felony assaults. It's also crimes against property, burglary, thefts, auto thefts, etc. And I want everyone to know, as it relates to 2022, with the exception of homicides as well as auto thefts, all other major crime categories are down. But that's the one everybody focuses on, is homicides. But in that regard, I would just tell you, in the first 20 plus days of January, there's still a few more days left. We had, at this point, 10 homicides in 2022. And as of 2023, the same time period, we've only had 5. And so in the best case scenario, that will be consistent, and that would mean homicides would drastically down.
Yeah, it would be nice to get to the end of the year and say we're 50% down.
Yes, I think 2022 was, in the best case, an anomaly. My heart is still with not only those victims, but my heart is especially with their families. It really bothers me when it's a child, because I think as adults we should be doing everything we can to protect children. And I just don't understand the stupid, reckless behavior of adults, especially when it involves a child.
Well, I noticed that you've got some programs in place that reach into elementary school with conflict resolution and parenting.
Yeah.
And getting them engaged and involved. I'm sure the churches are a big spot where things can happen.
So to be clear, we're not going to police our way out of all crimes in our community. I think in addition to that, the mayor's office and police officers are not a substitute for parenting and or community. But with that said, I think it's important that we be creative in how we use tax dollars and offer on a programmatic piece as it relates to prevention efforts, as well as reentry efforts on how we address youth and other things. With that said, we have a robust conflict resolution curriculum and program embedded in the schools called HEAT that actually teaches young people how to engage. Listen, conflict will always be, it has always been.
True.
What we need to teach young people how to respond to it. So when they do become an adult or as a young person, they don't resolve it by picking up a gun. The other thing we've done is a reentry program with young people that are locked up in state custody, and it's called Restore. That allows us to not only engage them, but provide wraparound services for their families. So when they enter back into the community, they make different decisions, as well as provide mental health officers at every single school, K through 5th, middle school, and high school. These are just some of the things we're doing to support children, as well as we've converted some of our recreation centers into safe havens that we increase the hours of operation, as well as offer programmatic things for them to do outside of their curriculum and sports to make sure if the home is not a safe environment, that they can go to their recreation center in the community.
You know, when I was growing up in West End, I used to go to Harrison Park.
Oh, I know Harrison Park very well.
And they had us painting. They had like paint by color.
Yeah.
They had little white ceramic things, flowers,
Right.
you know, still life things, and then they would let you sit there and paint.
Right.
Interesting. I think back on that right now as you talked about using the rec centers.
Listen, I think our children need continued exposure, continued opportunity. And if things are lacking or don't exist at home, what can we do to offset that? I think that's one of the things I wake up every day thinking. How do I continue to support families and young people in our community?
Well, do we have the money to do this?
I think we do. I think we just announced $81 million surplus. A big shout out to our finance department.
Wow.
A big shout out to our city council.
How'd that happen?
So let me answer the questions. I think it happened several fold. People are visiting our city. Residents in our city are actually going out. They are making purchases, eating, fun at bars. So our sales tax and revenues are up. Other forms of revenues are actually up. That's a benefit to the city of Birmingham. We've been fiscally responsible. We'll continue to be. We're taking chunks of that money, doing some big things that I hope we can talk about on the show today.
We will.
Which include Rickwood Field, Legion Field, Crossplex, as well as an amphitheater.
Well, stop right there and we'll talk about those things along with a couple of other things when we come back from break. All right?
Yes, sir.
You're not going to leave, are you?
I'm here.
This is Our Issues Birmingham. Don't go away. We'll be right back with the mayor. Welcome back to Our Issues Birmingham. I'm Tommy Spina. I'm speaking with Randall Woodfin about the state of the city. And he just shocked me by telling me that we have an $81 million surplus in the budget. So in addition to the increased revenues, I take it to get to the 81 million surplus, there's also a decrease in expenses. Is that happening?
Not necessarily. I just think that revenues are extremely up. And that is something that we can be excited about, that our financial stability is strong, our credit rating is strong, our pension is solvent, and our employees are taken care of. Here's what we've done just in the month of January. Prior to this $81 million surplus, the City Council approved $12 million in street paving. In addition to that, this council...
I'll put my street on that list, 21st Way South.
So skipping to this surplus, we're doing some significant things in the community. One of the things we're doing is taking care of recreation centers, existing recreation centers.
Like Harrison Park.
Harrison Park.
Or Woodward Park.
So many different parks, recreation centers. In addition to that, we're
Inslee Park.
Inslee Park's on the list. We're taking, I believe Inslee Park is on the list.
I hope Eastlake Park.
Don't let me misspeak. Eastlake Park is on the list.
Yeah.
At a significant amount, actually.
Yeah.
I do remember Eastlake Park.
That's a potentially nice spot.
But in addition to that, we're taking care of recreation centers, parks, pools, and libraries. And then we're taking care of big things such as giving some significant upgrades to the tune of millions at Rickwood Field, some significant upgrades to the tune of millions at Legion Field. We're going to build a family fun center at the Crossplex site. This will include a bowling alley, a skating rink, a jump park, a gaming area, a food court, and I'm missing all the other cool things that'll be a part of it. And then another big thing we're gonna do is close the last thing on the Uptown Entertainment District, which is an amphitheater.
Right. And that's huge.
Yeah, it's a $50 million project. I want the citizens and the taxpayers to know the city of Birmingham's commitment is only $5 million of the $50 million project. So the other $45 million, someone else is covering the costs, not you.
And that would be private investors?
It's a combination, public-private support, Live Nation, Jefferson County,
Corporate realty?
so many other partners. And so
Well, what's the timeline on that, you think?
we hope to be in the 2024 lineup. So we got to get moving.
Do you think, because the area where that's working from Caraway back to Protective Stadium, we're going to have to address some of the residential communities that are adjacent.
Already underway. I think the biggest thing for me in this entire Uptown project related to a new football stadium, the refurb of Legacy Arena, Top Golf and the restaurants, and now the amphitheater, and then the Caraway site that'll be a mixed use of commercial and residential, has always been about continued accelerated growth as it relates to neighborhood revitalization.
Northward,
Yes.
yes, which has been somewhat overlooked in past years to some degree.
Yeah, and listen, I was born in Caraway. I lived my first 12 years of my life on the north side of town. This would be the needed injection to accelerate growth in that area, and I'm confident that the residents who actually live in that footprint will benefit as well because they deserve it.
So with sports are big here, of course. Legion Field, we're going to put some money in it.
Absolutely.
And Rickwood Field, we're going to put some money in that. What are we trying to get to come there? I know one baseball game I'd like to bring.
What game is that?
Oh, it's the one they play every year, and I forget.
Well,
it's in some field in the middle of nowhere.
Well,
it's where the Field of Dreams is.
Tell you what, let's do everything we can to get it here.
All right, I got some
I'm
people
serious.
interested.
Yeah, it's
But what other things aside from the old timers game? And,
I
of
think
course, there's the
yeah.
classic that goes on at Legion Field.
Yeah, I think these two historic sites, if we do our part of upkeep, we're in a position to continue to attract not just local and state events, but let's position ourselves to attract national events as well. Just because when I say walk and chew gum at the same time, that means various things. In this scenario, it means we can continue to build these new things, but also take care of our historic sites, invest in our historic sites, and still attract opportunity and events at our historic sites.
So it's sort of a build it, they'll come mentality.
Yes. But we've seen with the new football stadium and the Legacy Arena, that mentality actually works.
Well, tonight's a classic example.
Well,
we're taping on January 25th. For those of you that don't know it, there's a huge comedy show here tonight.
17,000 people.
17,000 people for comedy. Chill bumps.
Or Garth Brooks that had over 50,000.
Yeah.
Think about that. You build it, they'll come.
Yeah.
But for the new stadium, Garth Brooks does not touch down or perform in the city of Birmingham.
That's true.
So yes, we have receipts and we have proof that build it, they will come actually works in the city of Birmingham.
Well, I know we had the person from the Art Walk here, which is an incredible development.
City Walk.
City Walk. I called it Art Walk.
City Walk has been a game changer, the same way Rural Park was a game changer.
Yeah.
An outdoor space that is defined as a community space that allows families and children to be able to skate, families to be able to take their children to a park even at night because it's lit well, and other amenities such as a dog park and pickleball and so many other opportunities right in the heart of our entertainment district is a game changer in the most positive way you can ever think.
Hold that thought. We're going to come back and talk about some other things that I got on my mind, all right?
Yes, sir.
This is Our Issues Birmingham. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Our Issues Birmingham. We've been talking about a lot of positive things going on in and around our city. I want to talk about something that has it's not necessarily a negative thing, but it's certainly an area of controversy, and that's the Birmingham Waterworks Board. So assuage the viewers that it's not as out of control as they read about, and we're trying to get it back to some degree of normalcy.
I think there's an opportunity locally to get this right. You have a 9-member board who appoints an executive. This executive is Michael Johnson. He has a team, and I think they're in a good position to just run the day-to-day operations of the waterworks. To me, it is simple. We have some core values at the city of Birmingham. I would expect that any waterworks customer, including myself, would have the same desire with 2 of those core values, one being efficiency and another being customer service. I think on the efficiency side, the customer has an expectation that my billing will be right. And I think they've definitely improved and gotten better. Is it perfect? No. But have they start chipping away at it because it's been a top concern of customers? The answer is yes. I think on the customer service part, they have to respond to customers when there's an issue. And I think they've gotten better at that too. And so just on those 2 fronts, communicating. I think another thing is the 9 board members have to talk to each other and have to get along. They're appointed. It should not be political. No one wants the Waterworks Board to be political. They just want a quality of life public service utility to work for the actual customer, which is, for the most part, all of us. And so it's definitely been quiet, which is a plus. I think they've been chipping away at making it more efficient, which is a plus. And I can tell they've been working on their customer service, which I'm very glad of.
So, because you got very vocal there at one point.
I did.
About their inefficiency.
It's probably out of character. I mean, my style is an olive branch. My style is team. My style is, if you can work it out behind the scenes, do that. But I felt like I exhausted all of that and it was going in the wrong direction. I feel that it's going in a better direction now for the customer, and that's all I want. I don't care about politics. I don't care about power. I don't care about who gets a contract. None of that's on my mind. What's on my mind is the efficiency for the customer. And I think this board, especially with this 9th member I've appointed, Mashonda Taylor, along with her colleagues, have the opportunity to get it right. And I want to afford them the opportunity to get that right. And they're in a position to.
Where was she before this appointment? She working in?
No. She's still working her full-time job. She's the executive director of the Woodlawn Foundation, which does amazing community work in the Woodlawn footprint. That includes housing, education, early childhood, infrastructure, and wraparound services for the residents in that Woodlawn footprint. And they've done an amazing job over all these years. She sits on other various boards, which includes Jones Valley Teaching Farm, as the Ruston Early Childhood Center, and a few other boards that are doing impact work in the community. So she understands her role as a board member. She actually has a master's in organizational leadership, which for an organization like that, I imagine that type of background will be helpful. She's the right choice. I'm very proud of this selection, and I think she'll do the community and the customer proud.
Yeah, and you only have 2 appointments.
Out of 9.
And what happened, there was some state legislate
that made it go from 5 to 9.
Yeah, which brought in the Blount County people and the Shelby County people, and so there's a broader spectrum of representation, and they have different interests, I'm sure.
I imagine they do. Let's be very clear. This utility is a Birmingham-based utility, close to in the heart of our city. The expectation is simple: do right by the customer, and be efficient in the service you provide.
Well, generally speaking, traveling a lot like I do, I mean, we have good water.
We have great water.
Yeah, we do.
We have great water. I want all the politics out. Doesn't matter if it's Birmingham, Montgomery. I want all the politics out of the waterworks as an organization. I want it to function as properly and quiet as our airport board, as our housing authority board, as our transit board, and all these other public organizations that are very quiet that you never read about.
What do you think is our biggest problem, aside from what we've already talked about going forward, future-wise?
It's twofold. Gun violence continues to be an American public health crisis, and Birmingham's a part of that. And I think secondfold, you really have to jolt the Birmingham school system. We need to continue to be aggressive on what are we doing to solve for academic achievement of K through 12 children, so we can have productive citizens in the city that are qualified to not only enter a college or university if they so choose to go, but also enter straight into the workforce. And so we can have capable and able, prepared citizens ready to contribute to the city of Birmingham.
I want to circle back on one thing.
All right?
You mentioned a program called Restore.
Yes.
So very quickly, how does that individual get to them?
So
The individual that needs those services.
we go to them because they are officially locked up in the youth detention center under state custody for a crime they have committed.
So this is juveniles.
This is juveniles.
I got you.
These are juveniles in state custody.
Okay.
So we go to them. We know where they are. They are officially housed in the youth detention center. And so our engagement is directly with them, along with the wraparound piece and engaging their families. And I believe this is a game changer. A staggering 80+% of these young boys are likely to kill or be killed. And so this is ground zero. This is the front line. This is where we need to put in our investments, time and resource to make sure these young boys, when they get out, do not commit the same behavior or worse, kill or be killed.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being with us. There's so much more I want to talk to you about.
Invite me back.
I will, because I want to get to the homeless issue, and there's a big thing there going on. But
There's so much going on.
thanks for being with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Tommy.
Peace.
Yes, sir.
This is Our Issues Birmingham. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next week.